Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Scherer, and this is the Citizen Sports Weekly for Wednesday, October 6th, 2021. Robert Harding at home and Justin Ritzel in the car.
Where could he be?
Going mobile.
Listen, I could have, just no-showed after another rough week of picking games last week, but I'm dedicated. I don't back down from just a miserable 0-4 week. I'm here. I'm ready to rebound. And it just shows my dedication to the pick four that I'm willing to do this from my hot, sweltering car in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Otherwise known as Cato Meridian.
Oh, come on.
I'm not making fun of Cato Meridian. There's some fine people up there in the northern part of Cuyahoga County. I'm not taking shots at them, believe me. They're good people up there. All righty. Well, let's do our Major League Baseball playoff predictions first. Then we'll do the NFL stuff. Okay. We'll talk about Justin's 0-4 record, and of course the rest of us who are stinking up the joint too. So the Yankees last night laying a giant egg. Go figure. You knew this was going to happen. I don't think any Yankee fan should be surprised by the stinkeroo that the Bronx Bombers put up last night. But anyways, it's Boston, Tampa Bay, it's Houston, Chicago in the American League. And then of course the National League, we have the wild card game tonight to the Dodgers and the Cardinals, which is you can't get for a better matchup. I mean, two of the National League stalwarts of all time, the 1985 playoff series they had with Ozzie Smith hitting that big home run. Of course, this is a winner take all, not a series, but and then we've got the Braves, the Brewers, the Giants. I think this is going to be one of the best postseasons ever. I truly believe that. I think we're going to have some great games, some great matchups. There's really no team that screams like, yep, they're gonna win the whole thing easily. I mean, even though the Giants won 106, 107 games. I mean, do we really feel like they're the best team, or did they get fat in a horrible division, feasting off the Padres, Diamondbacks, and Rockies? Okay,
what?
The Dodgers. Okay,
the NL West is a horrible division. Are you nuts?
Well, the top two teams are clearly the best, but
the Padres were like a World Series pick this year. Yeah, the Diamondbacks stink, but come on, every team has
Did they finish 500? Did the Padres finish 500?
Come on, the Padres are a really talented team. The Dodgers won 103 games. How's that a terrible?
Massively underachieved and is going to get their manager fired probably. I mean, look, yeah, on paper, the Padres are an incredible team. Cronenberg, Tatis. I mean, come on, we know that. They're a great team on paper, but guess what? As you know, and we all know, you don't play the games on paper. And they stunk this past year. And like I said, the Dodgers and the Giants got fat off the Padres, and of course the Rockies and Diamondbacks, who were horrible. So anyways, all right. So I'm not going to go round through the playoffs. I'm just going to give my pennant winners, and we'll go leave it at that. I like Houston. I think that they've quietly put together a good season. I think Chicago, I think Tony La Russa's dinosaur ways of managing are going to catch up to the White Sox. The Rays, I mean, look, on paper, they're the best team in the American League, but I think this is Dusty Baker's last shot to get back to the World Series. So I like Houston to win the American League pennant. As for the National League, the Dodgers, defending champs, I think they find a way to beat St. Louis. I think they know the Giants so well, and they knock off the Giants. And I don't think they'll have any issue with the Brewers or the Braves. I like Houston and LA in the World Series. Bring your trash cans, folks. Go ahead, Robert.
Well, in looking at the AL, I mean, I think really this is the Rays' pennant to lose. I mean, I know that, certainly Houston has bounced back from their trash can beating ways. You have the White Sox, who, I think that they certainly got off to a hot start. They looked good, in the early going. I think they've trailed off a little bit here, but they did finish the season, at least in the last 10 games, pretty strong. But at the end of it, I think the Rays are on a mission. After getting to the World Series last year, that Mickey Mouse World Series that they had, 60 games, the intramural World Series, I like to call it. I think that they're on a mission to get back there and to potentially win it this year. So I'm going to take them coming out of the AL to advance to the World Series. On the NL side, look, this is going to be tough because I really think that as long as the Dodgers get past the Cardinals tonight, the Dodgers-Giants series is going to decide who goes to the World Series here. I'm not afraid of the Braves. I'm not afraid of the Brewers. The Dodgers and the Giants are the two best teams in the National League, and that's going to be basically the NLCS before one of those teams goes on and pushes over some bum Atlanta team or bum Milwaukee team. And I'm riding the Dodgers. If Max Scherzer's on the roster, former Nat, I like their chances. I know that Kershaw, he had a rare moment of playoff success last year, but I think the Dodgers will be okay without him. I am concerned about Max Muncy's status. I think that could be, if that looms, and it sounds like he won't be available for the NLDS. We'll see if they advance and he's still there for that. What will happen there? But I mean, they just have so much talent on that team, and I know that people look at them as a wild card team, but they won 106 games this season. So I mean, it's really kind of a toss up. I'm taking the Dodgers to repeat. I'm looking for the Dodgers and Rays to play in a legitimate World Series this year for a change. So those are my picks to come out of each league.
Justin, your picks.
I cannot stand Tony La Russa. It will pain me to no end to make this pick, but I like the White Sox. I know maybe, Robert, I think you alluded to they kind of didn't have as great of a second half. They had some injuries throughout the season that I think affected their offense, but I look in the American League and, what often comes down, what does the playoffs come down to ultimately? The team that has the best starting pitching and the team that when your starting pitcher only goes 3 or 4 innings because all these managers have, quick trigger fingers, which team has the best bullpen? And I think despite the fact that Craig Kimbrell's kind of been a bum, I still like that White Sox bullpen a whole heck of a lot than all these other groups. And I think that's just such a big advantage when it gets to October. So I like the White Sox to come out of the AL. No justice for the 2005 Angels. The White Sox got them back then. And of course, they'll be returning. Terrible. NL, I don't know. Like, the Giants were not expected to do anything this year. Like, they were not even considered a wild card contender, and they really, they're a great story because on paper, Chris, I know you like to talk about nothing on paper, but the Giants shouldn't be as good as they are. Not even close. They just kind of have that it factor, and they're just one of those organizations that they seem to get it done every time they make the playoffs. They're kind of like the New York Giants in football. Like, they don't get into the playoffs every year, but when they do, they make something special happen. So it's just a gut feeling, honestly. I mean, the Dodgers are a way more talented team. I could easily see them returning to the World Series, but I don't know. There's something about this Giants team that they've been defying the odds all year. Why not continue that into October? So I think it'll be a Giants White Sox World Series. And hey, go Giants.
Okay. All right. We'll move on to our NFL picks. And like Justin alluded to earlier, he took the donut 0-4. Not that Robert and I have anything to crow about. We each went 1-3. Folks, this is as bad as it gets. For the season, we've picked 16 games so far. And I am the leader at 6-10. That is pathetic. Justin right behind me at 5-11. And Robert 4-12. It is good. It's a good thing we don't do this like as a profession, because we'd all be wearing barrels right now, and because we would have lost our shirts. it's pretty ugly. And I'm almost at a point where it's like, whoever I feel like I want to pick to cover, I'm just going to go with the opposite. I'm honestly, God, I'm close to that George Costanza thing, but we'll see how this week goes first. All right. So our first game, the Rams at the Seahawks. Rams 2.5-point favorites on the road. Rams coming off a shocking loss at home to the Cardinals. Who saw that one? Seattle, I don't even know. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see any of the games, last week, except for the Dolphins game, which I won't even begin to talk because that was really bad. And the Patriots Buccaneers game, because I was coming back from Philadelphia. So I was basically not able to watch any of the games. So I can't tell you everything that happened last week, but I know the Rams lost. I like the Rams to get back on track. I mean, look, Seattle, obviously one of the toughest home teams in the league. I think the Rams was a wake-up call. They know they got to, if they're going to win that division, get home field, they've got to win road games in the division. And again, familiar opponent being the division. So I like the Rams to cover the 2.5 and beat Seattle. Go ahead, Justin. Who do you like in this game?
So this is an interesting game because, I don't think, how often do you see the Seahawks underdogs at home? Like that never happens, even if they're not the same powerhouse that they used to be, obviously a 2-2 team. But remember, the Rams are the team that kind of broke Russell Wilson last year. They kind of showed the blueprint on defense of how to stop him. He really struggled in both games against the Rams last year. Obviously, that was with a different defensive coordinator. The Rams defense isn't performing like it was last year. So I'd be concerned as a Seahawks fan that, hey, for whatever reason, they have the recipe. They're Russell Wilson's kryptonite. That said, I mean, how can you feel confident about the Rams after just totally laying an egg last week against the Cardinals? I have no feel for the NFC West. I really think it's like every game is a 50-50. Each team can beat each team on any given Sunday. So because of that, I guess I'll take the Seahawks with the 2.5 points at home. I don't feel great about it, but oh well.
All right, Robert.
Yeah, it is a crapshoot with the NFC West. We got a taste of that last week with the Cardinals and the Rams. We've seen how these teams play each other. Seattle and San Fran, another example of that. This is a tough one, but I am going to go with the Rams. I just think that they're the better team. I get that, Seattle offensively, they can put things together, but I don't think that defense is up to snuff, especially with what the Rams bring on the offensive side of the ball. Just too many weapons, I think, for them. I think Cooper Kupp will give that secondary some trouble. And certainly if Darrell Henderson's playing, for the Rams, they could run the ball a little bit more, and that could create some problems too. So I'm going to go with the Rams in this one. I picked this game because it was a great matchup. I know that Chris has a different approach to picking these games.
Okay. Yeah.
But with this one, it is a bit of a toss-up. I mean, I easily could see Seattle winning it. It's a home game. It's a Thursday night. Thursdays are a bit of a wild card, but I just think the Rams are the better team, so I'll take them.
All right. Our next game, Justin's Green Bay Packers, 3-point favorites on the road at the surprising Cincinnati Bengals. I think you can say that they're a little bit of a surprise so far. They're 3-1, and they're coming off a pretty nice little break. They're having one on Thursday night. Yeah, they gave the Jaguars their chances, but the Bengals came back, and I think that the way they came back, big confidence boost for a young team. And I know Justin's going to have his jaw dropping when I say this, but I like the Bengals to cover the -3 against the Packers. Okay. Like I said, Bengals are rested, and I think this is a young team getting some confidence. The Packers, I mean, look, obviously after that week 1 debacle, they've come back and played great, and they should win this game. Absolutely. But I think it's going to be a little tighter than Justin might like. So I like the Bengals to cover. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think they can cover the -3, keep it within a point or two. It's going to be close, but maybe I'm crazy here, and God knows the way I've been picking games. I'm probably going to lose this one, but call me crazy, but I like the Bengals to cover the -3. Go ahead, Robert.
Well, to borrow from an old line that was used on this show, Cincinnati is a paper Bengal. I look at this schedule that they've had, and yeah, Chris, you get all the jollies over them being 3-1. They beat the Jaguars, needed to come back to beat the Jaguars. Remember that. They lost to the Bears. They did beat the Steelers, which, the Steelers and Big Ben, bit of a shell of themselves at this point. And yeah, they had that game against the Vikings that they won. Again, kind of a week 1 surprise there. So not exactly the kind of lineup that, when you look at the Packers and what they've done so far this season, I think that in this matchup of 3-1 teams, the Packers are far superior. I am taking them in this game. I think that they will win comfortably. I think that defense, obviously they still have some weaknesses at corner, but I think that defense has been playing better, and Rodgers is Rodgers. That offense it is trouble for opposing teams, especially when Aaron Jones gets going. You got Devontae Adams, the best receiver in football right now. So I like the Packers in this one. I think they will win comfortably.
All right, Justin, Green Bay, right?
Well, I will say I'm going to pick the Packers, but I don't think you're crazy, Chris. And here's why. The Packers defense is really banged up right now. Like Zadarius Smith, who's supposed to be their best pass rusher, he's probably out for the year. He had to get back surgery last week. So they're without him. Jair Alexander, he's got some kind of shoulder injury that we're not going to really know until probably within the next hour what his status is. But he's not playing this week, and he's easily their best corner. Otherwise, you're looking at Kevin King, who's prone to giving up 50-yard touchdowns, and a rookie cornerback, Eric Stokes, who's their first-round pick. He's been good, but this Bengals team, they have some pass catchers. Tyler Boyd, Chase, their first-round pick, and I think Joe Burrow has come along really nicely coming back from that ACL. So I think this is going to be an offensive game. I don't have much faith in the Packers defense really slowing the Bengals, but I do think that on offense, the Packers, even though they've rebounded the last few weeks, I still think they've left a lot of points on the board. And this just strikes me as that week when Rodgers, Adams, Aaron Jones, Robert Tonyan, they all just kind of put it together and they have a really nice offensive showing, 35, 40 points. So, but I think this is going to be a closer game than probably a lot of people expect. So I'll take the Packers, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is like a 4-point game.
All right, our next game, Cleveland Browns at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers coming off a really impressive win against the Raiders on Monday night. I thought that game was in Vegas with all the cheering. I guess it was in Los Angeles. It was kind of funny. It's like, oh, it is in LA. It's another one of those Chargers home games that feels like a road game. But like I said, the Chargers came back, and Justin Herbert is, I think, quietly putting together a MVP caliber type season. I'm not saying he is going to be the MVP. I'm saying he's putting together an MVP type season. The Browns, again, I don't know how they did last week, to be honest with you. I can't even remember how they did. Sorry.
They beat the Vikings 14-7.
There we go. Okay. That being said, I like the the Chargers to continue their winning ways. It's only 1.5. I like the Chargers to cover the 1.5 and to beat the Browns. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, this was a pick'em not a few days ago when I first checked the lines. Now it's a 1.5 for the Chargers, and I don't blame the odds makers here after that game against the Raiders the other night. I think it was an impressive display. I'm surprised that we did not hear Shira's 2 favorite words, short week. I will not invoke them here. I don't think it'll matter that much in this one. The Browns are a bit of an interesting case for me, because when you look at their performance this year, it's been up and down, and they've The defense has played well at times, not so good at others. Baker Mayfield was a bit inconsistent last week. Thought the Browns could easily handle the Vikings, and that game was certainly more interesting than I think a lot of people expected. But nonetheless, I am taking the Chargers in this one. I just think between that defense, just the Justin Herbert-led offense, that offense is sneaky good. You got Eckler at running back. Jared Cook is an underrated tight end. This is a guy that's been steady over the years, and they've got some pretty good receiving weapons on that team too. And when you have the guy that the Dolphins didn't draft throwing the rock around, it's certainly a recipe for success. So taking the Chargers.
All right. Thanks for throwing that up in my face. Go ahead, Justin.
This is pretty simple to me. I think these are two teams with really good defenses, but I think one team has a drastic advantage at quarterback, and I think that's the Chargers. That should not have been a 7-point game last week against the Vikings. It had no business being that close. Kirk Cousins was terrible. Dalvin Cook was in and out of the game with an ankle injury, and Baker Mayfield had an opportunity with a wide open, and I mean wide open, like sure maybe he could have made this throw. Possible touchdown and the game, and Baker underthrew him. He short-armed him by 5 yards. I just don't have any faith in Baker Mayfield. And, granted, we're not too far removed from him being the first overall pick, but that Browns team is a team that's ready to win now. And I think their quarterback's going to be the thing that holds them back. Don't be shocked if they have an early exit this year, if their quarterback shopping this offseason. That's a long ways away. I can promise the Chargers won't be quarterback shopping because Justin Herbert's really good. So I'm going to take the Chargers in this one.
We all picked the Chargers. Well, we all agree that's pretty good. That doesn't happen that
So
often.
Browns
All
by
right,
10, I think, is what's going to happen.
Our last game, Robert's Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs, a rematch of the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites at home. Chiefs are a disappointing, 2-2? 2-2, right? Yeah, they're disappointing. I mean, 2-2 is disappointing for the two-time defending AFC champions. The Bills, I mean, look, I didn't see the game last week, but I know how they did. Obviously, they just absolutely rolled up on the Texans. That was as much of a blowout as Robert would ever see his Bills do. But like I said, the Chiefs are 2-2, and I think they know that time's running short, but they need to get a move on here, especially in that competitive AFC West with the Raiders and the Chargers. And even the Broncos have been competitive, although I think that's not going to last long term. The Broncos have benefited from an easy schedule. But I think the Chiefs, this is a must win for them. I mean, really a must win. And I like them to win and cover the 2.5. I mean, look, the Bills could absolutely win this game. The Bills are more than capable of winning this game, and probably the Bills will win this game. But I'm just thinking that Kansas City really needs this game very, very bad. So I like the Chiefs to win and cover against Buffalo. Go ahead, Justin.
Well, I'm going to make my pick, and then I got to run because my game's about to start. I don't quite know what to make of the Bills. Like, you get 2 shutouts in 4 games. I know that the Texans stink, and sorry, Chris, your Dolphins stink too.
Yeah, they do.
But shutouts are shutouts, especially in this day and age. That's impressive. So I think the Bills' defense is really, really good. But I'm kind of like still that Washington game, kind of felt like the Bills' offense got back on track, but they just do some weird stuff in the red zone. Like, I don't know. I think the Bills need to be on their A game when they get deep in Chiefs territory this week. If they're settling for field goals, if Allen's making some wonky throws and they leave points on the board, they're not going to win this game. But I like the Bills. I think their defense can do enough here to slow down the Chiefs. Frankly, I'm just tired of picking the Chiefs. Like Robert said this like the last 3 weeks. We always have the Chiefs in our pick 4. Seems like they never cover. They're always overrated in the spreads. So I'm done with them. Okay, I am also done with them. Just like I think Robert said a few weeks ago, I picked them too many times for them to not cover. I'm done. So I'll take the Bills. And with that, I bid you guys adieu.
We'll see you later, Justin. All right, Robert. Obviously, Justin is absolutely right. The Chiefs are horrible against the spread. I think they're like 12-3 not covering the spread their last 15 games. It's incredible. This team wins, but they don't cover. And here I am picking them to cover, which I'm scratching my head and I'm thinking like, what am I doing? But they're due to cover a game. They're due to actually cover a 2.5 point spread here. So I'm not going to change my pick. Obviously, I'm going to stick with them. But obviously, Robert, you're picking the Bills to win, cover, and everything else. Obviously, right?
Well, no spoilers here, but look,
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs defense to me is the most concerning part of that team. I think the offense is, I think it's tough for continued dominance as they have. Teams are gonna, find ways to, to borrow one from, Sports Center. They may not be able to stop you, but they can contain you. And I think with the Chiefs offense, if you limit the damage, you might give up 30 points, but if you prevent them from making big plays in crucial moments, you can still pull out a win. And I think that certainly when you look at the first month in the season for them, there's plenty of examples of that. The Ravens, beating them, the Ravens gave up 35 to the Chiefs, still win, by scoring 36. The Browns gave up 33 to the Chiefs. They put up 29, probably should have won that game. The Chargers put up 30 against the Chiefs. The Eagles put up 30 against the Chiefs. And that's an Eagles team that the Monday night before got walloped by the Dallas Cowboys. So I think that there is a bit of a red flag here for the Chiefs defense because, the offense can only do so much. And, with teams keen on the offenses, we've seen this with a lot of the high powered offenses in this league. I've seen it with the Bills and how teams approach them that, teams are going to find a way to make your lives difficult on offense and prevent you from scoring, the high numbers of points that you're used to. So to me, that's the X factor in this game. I think that the Chiefs offense has what it takes to stay with the Bills, but I don't think the defense does. I think the Bills are all around a better team than the Chiefs this season. I do think that, there should be a couple of notes here. One is that not clear if the Bills will have Matt Milano for Sunday's game. He's dealing with a hamstring issue. That's going to be a big loss if he's not there. I think it's a loss that can be managed. I think that they have some, reserve linebackers. AJ Klein comes to mind that can fill that role. Not as good as Milano, but capable. So that's a bit of a concern. And then Jordan Poyer's status, one of the Bills' starting safeties. Will he be playing? He seems to be more, they seem to be more upbeat about his chances than Milano's because Milano's dealing with a hamstring. And we know those soft tissue injuries can take some time. So, but I like the Bills in this one, of course. I'm going to take them. I just think, again, I think they have the better all-around team this year. I think the defense is going to be key on Sunday night. And the Chiefs defense, I think they're in for a world of hurt in front of a primetime audience.
Okay, so there are our picks, folks. We got to get better. Holy cow! Because it can't. I don't know if it can get any. It can get worse, I guess, but still, it's been
not much worse.
a tough season. This has been a really, really tough season. And look, we try to pick the toughest games. That's the other. It's not like we're picking, games that are mismatches on paper that are just absolutely dog matchups. We didn't do Bills Texans last week. We're doing what we think are the best games, the closest games, and we're struggling. I think anybody who has ever bet on a football game knows it's not easy. And if you can basically go around 50%, you're doing pretty darn good. So So Robert, anything else you want to add before we?
Well, just to your point, I've got the spreadsheet in front of me here, and 4 weeks of the season. we all have our week to week records. There's been one time this season so far that one of us has gotten over 500. That was Justin a couple weeks ago with his 3-1 record. Chris, you've had a couple of 500 efforts this year. I've had one of those, and I've had some pretty bad weeks. I mean, I know that we're all doing, less than expected, but I look at mine every week. Like last week, got off to a hot start with, I think I had I had the Cleveland game, Cleveland, Minnesota. I think that I was the only one that picked Cleveland in that one. So I was like, off to a good start here, 1-0. These other bums that I pick games with, they're 0-1, and of course that was the end of the road for me. I skunked the rest, just terrible. But 4 weeks into the season, we're into week 5. Hopefully things start to turn around because, as I've said on this video before, I've looked back at the history of this. We've never been this bad. Haven't even been close. We'll have our bad weeks.
Yeah.
Chris, I know that both of us, we've had our 0-4 weeks over the years, but usually you bounce back, and certainly I think it's safe to say, as they would say in baseball, we're due for some good weeks ahead. So hopefully week 5, the turnaround begins.
Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, like I said, I was in Philadelphia last weekend visiting my daughter, who's away at Temple Law School, and and as Pennsylvania, you can bet on sports with your phone, which of course we're still waiting on here in New York State. And I did open up the DraftKings app on my phone, and I looked at some things, and I said, it'd be so easy just to, quick little $5 here or $5 there in a couple of games, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
It's just that's the thing. It's like, it's going to be fun. I think next season when we pick games, mobile sports betting will be well entrenched here in New York State. And the fun thing is, do we put our money where our mouths are? Do we say maybe we do parlays with these 4 games? We like $5. We do $5 on the 4 games and see who can go 4-0 and win their parlay, and see how often we can do that. I think that's something that may be tempting. $5 is not a large amount of money. Not saying we bet the farm or anything like that. No way. I think my wife would.
Well, you could potentially win a lot of money if you.
That's the thing. If you were to bet $5 on these 4 games and get all 4, you would get a nice chunk of change, which is never a bad thing. But it's tough when considering that the best that we've done out of the 3 of us is what, 1 3-1 week and
1 3-1 week, yeah,
and a bunch of 2-2s, and here we are going into week 5. It's breaking sports betting is tough. It truly is, and this is humbling. Because I don't think we think we're experts. I think we think that we know more than the average fan because of our job, what we do. We read a lot, we listen to a lot, we watch a lot. So we think that we're well informed, and that information would, help us make better picks and everything like that. But it just shows you that you can read as much, listen as much, watch as much, and realistically, it's ultimately a crapshoot sometimes. And there's extenuating circumstances with some of these games, and it's tough. And like I said, I don't think we're going to say that we're any experts. That's for sure. We're fans like everybody else watching this video. We love football, and we love to talk about football. But ultimately, we're not sharps that are, cashing in big time on some of these games. I think if we were going to bet for real, I think we'd be doing some other games that we thought would be easier, that would give us a better chance to win. So, all right. Ready to wrap it up?
Sure.
All right. Well, folks, thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the baseball playoffs. This is going to be fun the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, watching the World Series, come into focus, who's going to be playing in it. So enjoy those games too, and we will see you next week.